You guys, we need to talk about combat in Marvel's 1943 Rise of Hydra. It's release year for Marvel's 1943 Rise of Hydra, which means I'm going to be really covering this game extensively. If you followed my channel for the release of Marvel's Spider-Man 2, then you would know I did a ton of videos breaking down what I want to see from every aspect of the game, whether it be story related, combat, traversal, and much more. So now today I want to exclusively talk about what I want to see from combat in Rise of Hydra. Now this will be a little tough to do because we unfortunately have not seen anything at all from gameplay or combat for Rise of Hydra. In my Marvel Spider-Man 2 combat videos, it was a lot easier to talk about what I wanted because we already had an idea of what Insomniac's combat already looked like. For Rise of Hydra, I have absolutely nothing to go off of, but we're going to go ahead and give it our best shot. Here we go. I know the gold standard lately for superhero gaming combat has definitely been the Spider-Man games, and rightfully so, but I feel like the combat for Rise of Hydra needs to take greater inspiration from the Arkham games. Now, I don't want to copy and paste of the Arkham games, but I do think that there is some inspiration that can definitely be taken from them. The combat style in those games, I believe, are far better suited for the characters such as Black Panther and Captain America. I want to see some very good hand-to-hand combat with some heavy punches and kicks. I believe that the combat is definitely going to need a good parrying system, which is something that was in Spider-Man 2 but not in the first two Spider-Man games. This is something that Arkham really excelled in. Parrying will be essential, especially for a character like Captain America with his shield, but I believe that Black Panther could also use some kinetic energy as a means of parrying in this game. Something else that Rise of Hydra should be able to take inspiration from when it comes to the Arkham games is how the team up combat worked. More specifically, character switching in mid-combat. I was pretty disappointed that there was no character switching in Marvel Spider-Man 2 when you did have two Spider-Man to utilize, but hopefully Rise of Hydra can make it happen. The way the Arkham games were able to let you effortlessly switch between two characters mid-combat was perfect, and I've been dying to see it in another superhero game. When you have two incredible characters who have different skill sets like Captain America and Black Panther, you really want to be able to take advantage of switching between those two characters in the middle of combat. Character switching mid-combat is something that this game needs. And when it comes to team-ups, I really want to see some creative dual takedowns between these two characters. I want to see the shield get tossed around for some of those takedowns, and to see what happens when some vibranium kinetic charge hits the shield near a group of enemies. Between Cap's shield and Black Panther's suit, we have two different vibranium weapons at our disposal, so let's get creative with those dual takedowns. And when it comes to these two characters, there should definitely be a significant difference in the way these characters feel to the player. Cap should definitely have more of a brawling fighting style, and he should be able to utilize some hand-to-hand combat, as well as utilize his shield for some ranged attacks and hopefully some ricochet attacks. And Black Panther should be quicker, more fluid, and more acrobatic in his fighting style. Maybe he doesn't do as much damage in his punches as Cap, but he's able to get more punches and kicks in faster than he does, so it kind of balances things out. But if you guys don't know already, Amy Hennig, who was the game's director, did work on the Uncharted series. Those games are great, but I'm not sure how she's going to be able to take her experience on those games when it comes to combat and have that carry over to Rise of Hydra. Just because most of the combat in the Uncharted games were with guns, not superheroes who primarily fight hand to hand, so there is a lot riding on the combat when it comes to Rise of Hydra, and a lot for Amy Hennig to prove. There is a lot of hype for this game based on how good it looked graphically, which shows that Skydance has really taken this game seriously. But if they show off some combat in a trailer and it looks slow, clunky, or doesn't give you the feel of what it would be like to be Captain America or Black Panther, then it's really going to turn a lot of people away. So my hope is that there is some serious effort putting into making this game's combat as great as it can be. But those are just some of my thoughts and ideas on the combat for Rise of Hydra. I'm sure I'll be able to elaborate more in the future and potentially critique once we get some actual gameplay to watch. But be sure to let me know what ideas you have for comment in the comment section down below. Hit that thumbs up before you do leave the video. Thank you guys so much as always for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.